Bonjour à tous, my name is Stella and I'm currently sitting in a hotel room in Toulouse, France, where I'm staying for a few days with Elodie, a friend of mine who's actually working here every day while I'm just tagging along, enjoying myself. And I decided to spend today to edit the videos of the past 2 weeks where I have been staying with Elodie at her place, which is not in Toulouse, but in the middle of nowhere in rural France. It's a really, really beautiful place, as you will see. And I've spent 2 amazing weeks there already. Even though the first week was really rainy and gray and very cold, it was perfect. I had so much time to read, it was very calm. And also, I cleaned out Elo's and Vincent's attic completely, which needed to be done because now, like afterwards, we were able to install her pottery studio there. So I already did some pottery last week as well. I still suck at it a lot, but still. Also, I tattooed myself like 2 weeks ago. So there's also going to be some clip of that in this video, but also there's going to be a whole new video about that. Yeah, so the first 2 weeks were actually really, really great, especially the last one when the sun came out. It was just so beautiful. There was a lot of cuddling with Elo's cats, and it's just, yeah, it's just been really great 2 weeks for me so far. Yeah, there at the end you will also have some thoughts that I have about just being there in general, maybe some things that I can take back into my daily life. And if you want, I wish you a great time watching this video. And yeah, I will see you soon.
Bring me into golden sunlight. If I'm going with you, I know we'll get to the other side. Sinking in, I know this feels right. Catching a breeze, love moving through me like a wildfire, like a wildfire. Never the same. Never you calling my name, I'm taking my sweet time. Hey, whatever the plan, I know I'm holding
Doing the
best
first?
of me as
Doing
my
it!
hand.
Yeah, it's kind of nice. I wonder if it's going to stay, if it's too low or not, but whatever, we'll see.
Bring me into golden sunlight. If I'm going with you, I know we'll get to the other side. Sinking in, I know this feels right.
I wanted to show you the view that I wake up to every morning, and you can see the neighbors there minding their own business. It's quite empty now. Sometimes they're really like down there in the front, but I think some of them are probably looking for shadow now as well. So that's my neighbors, and now I can give you a small room tour of my tent. So when you go outside, you see here it's right in front of Elos and Vincent's house, and I have a little bit of room in the front. Here's the hot water that I had to use for a few nights when it was really, really cold. And then I basically just have like one big air mattress in here. Some windows, if you want to call it that, for fresh air. And of course a light when I come back and it's already dark outside, which it is most of the times. So yes, it has been freezing, unfortunately, some of the nights. Like I woke up sleeping, I think 2 or 3 nights, like several times during the night. And this night it's finally been warm enough without like an extra blanket or without the hot bottle. Do you call it that? I don't know. So I was very happy to be sleeping through. It was very lovely. And yeah, I've also been sleeping in the living room, and sometimes I do that, but I just wanted to give Elo and Vincent more space for them, and just think it's really lovely and cute having my own place out here like that, especially with the view. I am very, very happy, even though it definitely took some getting used to again, sleeping in a tent alone like this. Then you have all these nature sounds and everything, but I just love it, honestly. So many. Oh yeah. And they're perfect. Yes.
Bring me into golden sunlight. If I'm going with you, I know we'll get to the other side. Sinking in, I know this feels right. Catching a breeze, love moving through me like a wildfire, like a wildfire. Never the same. Never you calling my name, I'm taking my sweet time. Hey, never the plan. I'm holding the best of me out of my hand. Bring me into golden sunlight. If I'm going with you, I know we'll get to the other side. Sinking in, I know this feels right. Catching a breeze, love moving through me like a wildfire.
Being out in nature and being here in general also really reminds me of my childhood, because we used to have a long, long time ago, well, yeah, kind of like 20 years ago. Wow. We used to have a small dacha or dacha, which is what you call like small weekend houses in the east of Germany or in the ex-Soviet Union, I believe. And my grandparents, after they fled the war and ended up in the east of Germany, they bought like a small area close to a lake, and on there with friends, like they were neighbors, each of them, they built the houses together, and it was like an old wooden house, which they, I think, built in like the 1960s, like maybe around the time my mother was born. I think so. And so, yeah, it was a really, really lovely place in the east of Germany. And we used to go there every summer, like since I was a baby until my 14th or 15th birthday, I think. We sold it when my grandpa passed away, which was already some time ago. Yeah, it's been 19 years since he passed away. And being there, it's just like the happiest childhood memories I have. Like when I was a baby, a small child in school, we spent most of our summer vacation there. Not only, but mostly, because I mean, it didn't cost a lot and it was easy to do. And we would always spend time with my grandparents there as well, of course, but it was my dad, my mom, and my sister and I. And it was just so, so lovely. It was really, really easy. Like the first years, we didn't have a real toilet. It was just one of those toilets where you go. And then afterwards, like, you don't really put anything. And then every I don't know how many weeks, like a car came and took out everything, like a toilet like this. And even after we got a toilet that could flush, it was still like outside of the house because we didn't have a bathroom, a real one in the house. We just had a shower next to the kitchen. And it was outside, you know, where you store your tools and everything in a shed. And it's a very, very strong memory of mine that I also like, that I really felt when I was here. Being in the dark, looking for the light switch and touching a spider web in the dark with my hand. That happened to me here a few days ago, and it reminded me so much of being young. Because especially when I had to go to the toilet at night, it was also kind of scary. Like, I don't know, probably it was like midnight or 1 in the morning or whatever. And me as a 6 or 7-year-old child going outside to go to the dark shed to go to pee. But it's also such a fun memory doing that. And we had this kind of tiles outside, you know, the way from the little house to the shed. And I just remember the feeling of walking over them barefoot. And it was just really like very simple place, like nothing fancy at all, but it was just lovely. We were very close to a lake, just like 3 minutes, and so we were swimming in the lake every day, and just like the smell of lakes nowadays even makes me so happy. And then we had a lot of raspberries and fruits in general there that we were collecting, and my mom was making pudding, and then we were eating it all together. We were building stuff from nothing. Like, I remember once we tried to build a rod out of a wooden thing to go fishing, which was not allowed unless you had a license, of course. I don't know if we caught anything, but we spent like a few days doing that. And as children, you know, you set yourself small missions and you just wander around and do nothing, or nothing that really has a purpose, even though you're telling yourself it totally has a purpose what we're doing here. And it's so nice. And when I was just wandering around here as well, I felt a bit like that, just like watching the butterflies and seeing where this way goes and just discovering things in a way that I haven't been doing for some time. So yeah, that's really, really nice. And I've always for years I felt like I would love to have a place like this again, like I had in my childhood. But it's a mix, right? I feel like part of it is just wanting to have my childhood back, or the way my family was at that point, which is not possible anymore. But part of it probably also is just wanting to have a place like this where you really wind down and just lay around, walk around, wander off, do whatever you want, like I'm doing here. Because it's a really healthy thing to do once in a while. Like a place where you don't go and you have any expectations of what you need to do. Like, okay, maybe I want to have at least one ice cream at this place. I want to go and swim in the lake every day, stuff like that, but nothing more. Which is also one of the reasons why I chose not to travel for my 3 months off. Like nothing big. Like I didn't want to go backpacking somewhere in Southeast Asia or anything. First of all, because it's summer in Europe, so I wanted to enjoy that. But then also, if you do that, I mean, it's great. You see a lot of new things. But also, like, basically every day you're like, okay, I'm here at this new place. So what are the things that I need to do here? I need to try this food here. I need to visit this temple or whatever there. Where do I stay tomorrow night? And then you're just always on the go, and you're always thinking about something, having to-do lists in your head. And even though it's really fun, and of course you can also be spontaneous and just wander around, it's just not as calm as just staying at a place for a longer time where there really isn't a lot to do. And I felt like I really needed this. Even though, of course, I set myself goals here as well, which is, I don't know, I'm not sure if it's stupid or not, because on the one hand, I want to live every day and just see what I feel like doing. But on the other hand, I'm also like, okay, now you should write in your diary every day, maybe try to write some texts, start meditating maybe. You should do a lot of pottery. You should, I don't know, go running at least 3 times a week, stuff like that. Which, of course, is still nice if I have things that I want to do here, right? Because these are things that I like to do as well. Like I enjoy doing those things, but also it's kind of not the point coming with a list of things that I want to do every day. I want to like just go into every day and see what I want to do, right? So it's a bit of a fight there in my brain sometimes. Like when I spend a day just not watching the time, just doing what I want to, and then in the evening I'm like, oh, so okay, but now you did not do whatever. You didn't read today, or I don't know. So yes, I'm working on that. I mean, of course, it's the mindset I brought from a life of working every day at home, like 5 days a week, and having a lot to do besides, and you have to make plans in order for your life to work, right? If I don't think about when I'm going to go shopping and what I will buy and when I will do my, I don't know, doctor's appointments and stuff like that, if I don't really plan that out, then my life isn't going to work. I can't just wake up and see what I'm going to do. But it would be nice to have less things, I guess, just to bring some calmness back into my life and to really look for a place where I don't set myself any expectations. I mean, this can be a place at home as well, or some days where I really don't set myself any expectations. I don't need to clean the apartment. I don't need to do whatever. Yeah, just some thoughts. But I can just say I'm enjoying this time here. And if I don't come back home and I have a lot of new thoughts, or I did a lot of things and I'm 1000% healthier and smarter or whatever, then that's perfectly fine. It's fine if I come home and I just had a great time, right? Really need to tell myself that.